Weather update for you this afternoon as we track the threat for strong to severe storms. So taking a look here at this next big thing, which is our severe threat today. We are tracking severe storms. There is a severe storm watch for the areas highlighted in pink here. So the Highway 52 corridor to the Mississippi Riverside and then further east into Wisconsin. So all these counties highlighted here under this severe thunderstorm watch. This will be in effect until 7 o'clock here this evening. We are starting to see a few showers and storms developing just east of the Highway 52 corridor. We've been watching a lot of clearing here in the backside of our morning and midday thunderstorm activity. So waiting to see, can these storms become the main event here for this afternoon and this evening. So zooming further out, you can see a lot of that severe activity already making its way to Lake Michigan, but rural areas to our south there, southern Iowa, looking at some strong to severe storms in that direction. Cold front off to our west will be a main driving force here for thunderstorms later on this afternoon and this evening for that development. Storm Prediction Center continues to keep a level 3 over portions of southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa, and areas into Wisconsin. This has shifted further east since yesterday, and we'll continue to monitor that development here for the next few hours. We're still kind of in a wait and see type mode. Plenty of fuel, though. Dew points still well into the 70s across the region here. Notice on the backside of that cold front, things cooling down, a little bit more comfortable of an air mass. So waiting for that cold front to help fire off some of those thunderstorms. So in the next couple of hours, we'll start to see storms developing here, mainly between about 5 and 6 o'clock here tonight. We'll see that thunderstorm threat continue with us through about 9 o'clock here, 10 o'clock tonight. Heading into tomorrow, we'll be watching some showers for the area. Severe weather not expected. Things will be a little bit cooler temperature-wise for tomorrow, and then we really see some comfortable air on the way by the weekend. So more on those first alert forecast details, including our storm threats here today. That's ahead in your first alert weather later on in the broadcast. Midwest Access will be right back. Welcome back to Midwest Access. I'm meteorologist Sarah Gannon. We continue to track the next big thing, and that's a threat for some strong to severe storms later on this afternoon into this evening. So let's take a look at those current weather alerts. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in place for counties along and east of Highway 52. So you can see all the counties highlighted there in pink. That will be that watch, which is in effect until 7 o'clock this evening. Let's take a look at future track radar. We're starting to see some thunderstorms bubbling up here through the midsection of the viewing area. So if you're in Olmsted County, you may be noticing some of those thunderstorms rumbling through Malware County as well. Also a cell coming out of the Charles City area heading towards Howard County. Let's zoom in though on Olmsted County, pretty much everywhere in Rochester, especially north of the Highway 14 area, looking at some heavy rainfall, some frequent lightning, some thunder as well, maybe even some small hail. So monitor that closely if you're out and about here this afternoon. This is what we're looking at for Rochester right now. Vast majority of the Med City right now seeing some heavy rainfall at this point in time. No warnings for our local area. Big focus now shifting for the afternoon is going to be this cold front. Notice how towards northwestern and north central Minnesota there, or excuse me, west central Minnesota, looking at some thunderstorm warnings in that direction. This is what we're waiting and watching for, is that cold front as it moves east. That is going to be the main driving force for those thunderstorms for our area here this evening. Looking at our current temperatures and dew points, it is a very muggy day out there. Dew points well into the 70s, so uncomfortable for us here at this point in time. Good fuel for those thunderstorms. So we've been watching some clearing throughout this afternoon, and with those high dew points, we do have the ingredients that we need here for that severe threat today. Storm prediction, severe storm outlook right now. We do have that level 3 still across much of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. So this is areas Highway 52 and east. So this has changed since yesterday. Hazards, though, still the same. Our tornadic threat lowering slightly, but still possible. So should we see any tornadoes, we could be looking at EF1 or EF0 to EF1s. Wind gusts of 50 to 70 miles per hour possible here with those strong to severe storms, and large hail possible as well, upwards of golf ball sized, if not larger. So let's take a look at timing here. We should see in the next couple of hours some drier conditions, especially towards I-35, but we'll look to see those thunderstorms starting to develop closer to about 6:30 here tonight, staying very sparse in manner, very stray, discrete supercells initially, which would have the higher potential of some tornadic activity, eventually converging into a linear line after about 9-10 o'clock. And most of these storms should be out of here, with that cold front pushing things along after about 10-11 o'clock tonight. So friendly reminder, download that free First Alert weather app for all alerts that you may need. You get those instant severe weather notifications. You can track storms with with our interactive radar. A look at that 10-day forecast. Some more rain chances on the way for tomorrow. Severe threats not really expected here for the area, but we are looking at some much cooler, drier conditions and more sunshine. Cool down though for the weekend ahead. That's a look at your first alert weather.
This is a First Alert weather update from KTTC.
Hey everybody, meteorologist Sarah Gannon here with a severe weather update for you. A new severe thunderstorm warning coming from the National Weather Service, and this is for Olmsted County. So we are watching a line of some showers and thunderstorms kind of developing through the midsection of the region. A couple of warnings just outside of our viewing area, but locally we do have this warning here for Olmsted County. This does also extend into a portion of Wabasha County. So this will be in effect here until 5:15 this evening. The storm has been warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. So this is moving right through the center of Rochester, down towards Rockdale, Orinoco, and Plainview also included with this. And again, this goes into the county line there with Olmsted and Wabasha and Winona County. So zooming further in, we'll take a look at that hail core because we do have that hail core right over the northern half of the Med City. So downtown Rochester into northwest and northeast Rochester as well. So this does stretch down towards this portion of Bamber Valley Road. So extra caution out there here this afternoon. And again, if you're in the Med City area looking at some hail over the local area, again, winds gusting upwards of 60 miles per hour. We're looking at some small hail possible. And we continue with that severe thunderstorm warning for Olmsted and Wabasha County here until 5:15 this evening, passing along the areas around 11th Avenue Northwest and 7th Street Northwest. Some localized street flooding. Chief Meteorologist has more details next. Tracking more wet weather for your Thursday. Your first alert forecast details are next.
Your first local late news from your trusted news leader. This is KTTC News at 9 on Fox.
Thunderstorms moving through our area today. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Olivia Pronzinski, joined by meteorologist Sarah Gannon. Sarah, the wet weather isn't done yet.
No, tonight storms were pretty sparse in manner here for the evening hours. We had the ingredients just not quite put together just as we had anticipated. So you can see those showers that we're looking at and those thunderstorms here in southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, now pushing to the east. I think our overall severe threats waning here for tonight. So give it another hour or so, and then I'd say we're done with the severe weather. So once these storms clear the region, we will be done with the severe activity, looking at some quieter weather. So you can see west of the Highway 52 area, west of 35, dry, quiet. That's how we'll proceed for the rest of tonight. We're watching this cold front here off to our west as this continues to push further to the east, and that's driving those storms eastward. So things looking a lot quieter on the backside of that. And you can see here temperatures and dew points where that cold front currently is. High humidity east of that frontal boundary. Notice the dew points back in the 50s to the west. So looking ahead to some more comfortable air. However, tracking the next big thing, more moisture on the way. Tomorrow, we'll be looking at some more wet weather on the way, some showers, some thunderstorms may be possible as well, but overall severe threat pretty low for tomorrow. So looking forward to a little more rain. More on those details are ahead in your first alert forecast. Olivia? And we continue to need that umbrella heading into your Thursday. We are tracking the chance for some more wet weather, some showers, and a few thunderstorms possible in the area tomorrow. Probably a better opportunity for much of the area to receive a good drink of water. Temperatures also a lot cooler heading into your Thursday. We'll talk more about those first alert forecast details next. We continue to look ahead to more wet weather here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. We certainly need the rain, and we will take it. So let's check out the next big thing. We are continuing to see those showers and thunderstorms from this evening. Pushing east, we're almost done with the stormy conditions. Still some folks along the riverside from Winona down to La Crosse and moving into Alma-Key County here as we speak. So once this line here of thunderstorms is out of the area, things much quieter back behind it. So we still have some cloud cover across areas from I-35 to the riverside. Clear sky then further to the west. So as this cold front here continues to push east, we'll be looking at some much cooler, drier, more comfortable air back behind this system. And then things changing heading into tomorrow, where we still need the umbrella. We'll be watching some showers to roll in during mid-morning or so. That will continue into the midday, afternoon as well. But I do think a lot of this rainfall should be out of our area by about 4 or 5 o'clock there tomorrow afternoon. So still keep the umbrella handy. Tomorrow, shower and thunderstorm chances will look to be a bit more scattered to widespread in manner. So I think many of us looking at the opportunity for some good rainfall in the region. Let's time things out. We'll start off the clock here at about midnight tonight. So this is after all the storms have left. We'll be looking at some quiet sky overnight. Heading towards about 7 a.m., we could start to see some showers moving into the region, and throughout the midday there, we'll be watching some light to moderate rainfall, maybe some pockets of heavy rainfall possible here as we head into the lunch hour. Notice, though, how scattered to widespread this rain activity will be for tomorrow. So again, a better chance for more of us to see that moisture. We'll see showers and thunderstorms gradually exiting after about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. Some clouds lingering into the dinner time frame, into the early evening, but by midnight we'll be looking at some clearing sky and a lot quieter weather then heading into the end of the work week. So we'll take a look here at some estimated rainfall amounts. I think a lot of the area could be looking at maybe a 1/4 of an inch on the low side for totals, potentially upwards of maybe an inch in some isolated areas closer to the riverside. So on the high side, maybe an inch; on the lower end, maybe about a 1/4 of an inch. So regardless, beneficial rainfall more so across the board. And as we track out those thunderstorms for the rest of tonight and look ahead to tomorrow's rain, you can download that free First Alert weather app, a great handy tool to have on an active day and even a dry, quiet day. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast for Mankato. Things quieter and cooler here for Thursday. We'll look at some low 70s on the way this weekend. 10-day forecast for the Rochester area. A little bit cooler tomorrow, but at least we'll be looking to see that moisture, and then we track out some beautiful conditions heading into this weekend.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
We are tracking more rain on the way heading into your Thursday. Quieter conditions expected for the rest of the overnight once these thunderstorms clear the riverside. But keep that umbrella close by for tomorrow as we look to see a better chance at more widespread soggy conditions. Temperatures will also be a lot cooler than what they were today, and some much needed relief from the heat and humidity on the way by the weekend. Your First Alert weather is next. And we are tracking more wet weather when you'll need that umbrella. Those latest forecast details are ahead in your First Alert weather.
Thanks for sticking with us. Well, everything is calm for tonight, but rain's still on the way yet for this week.
Yeah, that's right. We are tracking a bit more of some wet weather for tomorrow, so you will need to keep the umbrella handy. A better chance at seeing more widespread shower activity and maybe a few thunderstorms as well. Let's take a look at those current radar conditions here at this point in time. Future track radar. Most of our storms are pushing east of the river at this point in time. Still some cloud cover across a good chunk of the area, mainly east of I-35. Clear sky west of the interstate. So once these storms cross the river, we are done with the thunderstorm activity tonight. We are done with that severe threat. We're also watching your cold front still off to the west here. As this pushes east, that will kind of kick out quite a bit of that humidity. However, some of it may return heading into tomorrow. Here's a look at those current conditions. High dew points east of I-35. Notice the 50s for those dew points west of the interstate. So that cooler, drier air gradually making its way back into the region. The next big thing, more rain. Keep the umbrella handy as we head towards mid to late morning tomorrow, extending into those afternoon hours. We'll be looking at a chance there for some isolated to scattered shower and thunderstorm activity. So a bit more widespread for the region. Definitely a good drink of water. We'll talk about some possible totals and walk through future track coming up in just a bit. Olivia? We are watching more of those thunderstorms exiting the region, so things becoming a lot quieter here heading into the rest of tonight. Clear sky overhead for the folks in Mankato. If you're along the I-35 area and west, still some cloud cover. There are a few rain showers around the La Crosse region, but outside of that, we're done with the rest of the thunderstorm activity. Things becoming a lot quieter here in the next few hours. Still keeping an eye on that cold front. It is moving through the area here at this hour, and once that pushes east, it continues to kick out those thunderstorms. Quieter conditions on the backside of that frontal boundary and a lot cooler, drier air mass. So we are saying goodbye to those tropical dew points. We still have some high humidity east of the frontal boundary, but notice off towards western Minnesota, western Iowa, we're looking at dew points. They're back in the 40s and 50s, so a lot more comfortable comfortable air on the way. We just have to kind of get through tonight as that frontal boundary pushes through. So the next big thing, though, you will still need the umbrella as we track more rain chances on the way. So let's break things down here with Future Track. The rest of the overnight here, we're looking pretty quiet. By about 7, 8 a.m., we'll start to see some rain showers moving into the region. So I think most of us should be able to get through that morning commute tomorrow. Dry, but keep the umbrella handy just in case. As we head into the midday, we'll see more of those showers picking up, some more moderate, maybe pockets of heavy rainfall possible at times there as we approach the midday for Thursday. And we'll see those showers and thunderstorms kind of finally kicking out after about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. So drier conditions after about 4 or 5 o'clock, depending on your location. So with that, early evening hours, we'll still see some cloud cover. But after about midnight or so, we will look to see some drier conditions settling in, and looking forward to some clearing sky heading into Friday. Some good rainfall on the way here with tomorrow's system, and we have a better chance of seeing more widespread rainfall versus tonight's storms, which were a bit more spotty in manner. We could be looking at some higher end totals along the riverside from Winona down into the Alma-Key County region, maybe upwards of a ½ to 1 inch of rainfall. Lesser totals as we head further west and north. So potentially some totals, maybe a 1/10 or 2, upwards of about 1/4 to ½ inch on the high side. So anywhere from 1/4 to 1 inch of rainfall is possible in the region. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast for Mankato, keeping an eye on that wet weather for tomorrow. Temps quickly jumping back into the 80s for Friday, but back to those lower and mid 70s this weekend into next week. 10-day forecast for the Rochester area, looking at a much cooler stretch of weather on the way. Rain showers tomorrow, temperatures in those lower 70s this weekend into much of the early half of next week. A lot drier conditions as well, so an opportunity for that rain to kind of soak in, and the biggest thing, a much needed break from the heat and humidity.
Those cooler temperatures will be very nice.
Yes.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Nick. Here's one more look at that 10-day forecast. Things a lot quieter here in the next 7 to 10 days. We do have some much needed rainfall on the way for tomorrow. This will be more of a scattered to widespread event. So a lot more of us looking to pick up some moisture. Keep the umbrella handy. A good chunk of the day will be rather wet. So not a total washout, because I do think we can recover by the evening hours, looking at some quieter weather there. But heading into the weekend, looking forward to a lot more sunshine. Temperatures a lot cooler, sticking into those lower 70s. That will trend into early next week before temperatures warm back to more seasonal levels in the upper 70s to low 80s. But the big thing here is going to be the reduction in temperatures. So a good break from the heat and humidity here in the coming days.
But you know what? All of this rain is going to soak in, and it's really great for your gardens and
Yes.
flowers.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 9 o'clock.
With us tonight, everyone. I'm Brock Burgee.
And I'm Olivia Pronzinski. We turn right to meteorologist Sarah Gannon. Do people have the all clear for tonight?
Yeah, guys, the good news is we are all clear for the rest of tonight. A lot of these showers and thunderstorms have since crossed the Mississippi River now, so we are looking dry and quiet for the rest of tonight. We're still waiting for that cold front to finally kick out east of the river there. And with that, we'll lose the cloud cover. And the big thing is we'll see a big reduction in dew points as well. So saying goodbye to that tropical air mass. So look at future track radar. You can see those showers now well off to our east, clearing sky off to the west, but here is still that frontal boundary just moving through southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa. So on the backside of that, we'll be watching those dew points into the 50s. You can see here with a look at those current temperatures here east of the frontal boundary, we have dew points still in the 60s and the 70s, still very muggy feeling outside, much drier air mass east of that frontal boundary. So right now, I-35, kind of that dividing line. You can see dew points there in the 50s and the 40s. So a lot more comfortable air mass on the way. However, our next big thing, we're tracking that for your Thursday. You will still need that umbrella as we track much needed rainfall. And this chance here for tomorrow has the better opportunity for more widespread activity in the area. So keeping an eye on that heading into tomorrow. We'll see showers starting to arrive kind of mid to tail end of that morning commute tomorrow. Looking to see things wrapping up here just in time for that evening commute. So certainly a good opportunity to kind of refill those rain buckets, give the lawn and flowers a good drink of water, the crops as well, but you will need the umbrella heading out tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Sarah. We'll check back in soon.
Keep the umbrella handy as we move into our Thursday. The overnight tonight will be dry and quiet, but we are tracking some rainfall on the way, looking to be more widespread for us here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. So an opportunity for all of us to see a little drink of water. More of a soggy day ahead for your Thursday. We'll track out those first alert forecast details next.
For First Alert Weather. with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
We are pretty much done with the shower and thunderstorm activity for the area tonight. Some good news as we see those thunderstorms clear east of the river, and that also means we are done with our severe threat for today. So a quiet evening on tap, quiet overnight, I should say. Still some cloud cover east of the I-35 region and quieter conditions coming back behind this cold front. So we still have that frontal boundary that we're watching along the I-35 region. It's continuing to push east, which will move those storms out of the area. But the big thing here that we'll notice waking up tomorrow morning when we clear this cold front is the drastic change in dew points. Notice areas east of the frontal boundary. In this case, it's still along the I-35 area. Dew points are in the 60s and 70s, so still very muggy outside at this point in time. Notice off to the east or to the west there, Worthington, dew points in the 40s, Mankato, dew points in the 50s. So a lot more comfortable air mass is ahead. However, we're still tracking some active weather. The next big thing is going to be more rain. So as we put things into motion here with Future Track, you will be needing that umbrella throughout much of tomorrow. I wouldn't say it's a complete washout, but from that morning commute to the evening commute, it will be pretty soggy for us in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. The evening, though, I think we can salvage that with a little outside time. Let's put things into motion here tonight with Future Track. We'll start things off for midnight tonight and starting off the clock here at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll start to see some of those rain showers making their way into the area. I think morning time, some light rain showers are expected. And as we move into the midday, then notice more yellows and oranges colored on the map here. Through about the lunch hour, we'll start to pick up more moderate to heavy pockets of rainfall during the midday. So again, kind of a very wet Thursday in place. But as we transition into the afternoon, clear out these rain showers becoming less and less and becoming lighter. So as we move here towards the evening commute, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, we'll start to see these showers coming to an end. Drier conditions, still some cloud cover lingering around through the end of the dinner time hour. But as we move towards midnight, then heading into early Friday morning, looking at some quiet conditions, and then Friday transitioning into a pretty quiet day. So some good moisture on the way. I do think a lot of the area could pick up maybe a 1/4 of an inch on the lower side for totals and higher totals upwards of an inch. So a bit of a spread in terms of rainfall amounts, but where we see more of those heavier pockets setting up, that's where we'll see more of that those higher totals. But let's take a look here at that 10-day forecast. A much different temperature trend on the way for the region. We're still tracking that wet weather for tomorrow. So a reminder, bring the umbrella. You might need the rain jacket as well if you're out and about a bit more throughout the midday. But gearing up for a beautiful weekend with some sunshine, and check out those temperatures. It's been a good while since we've seen highs in the lower 70s and multiple days in the lower 70s. So kind of getting a much needed break from the high heat, the humidity, looking at kind of some maybe late spring type temperatures there with those low 70s.
Definitely a relief, though.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to having the windows open tonight. Good night to sleep with the fresh air coming in.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
Let's take a look here at that 7-day forecast for Austin, Mason City, and Winona. More wet weather on the way tomorrow. Better chance at more scattered to widespread activity. So a lot of us should be able to get a beneficial drink of water from that rain tomorrow. Keep the umbrella handy. I do think a kind of bookend here with our morning and evening commutes tomorrow. We'll see that wet weather. Evening hours after the evening commute, I think we can salvage a little time outside, but much cooler air on the way heading into this weekend as we track some sunshine and high temperatures in those low, maybe mid 70s. Really looking pretty nice here this weekend into early next week. Taking advantage, though, of that bit of rain that's on the way for tomorrow. Nick? Let's take one last look at that 10-day forecast. Have the umbrella handy tomorrow. I think from that morning commute through about the evening commute, looking at some wet weather. So a bit more of a soggy Thursday, but I think we can salvage the day by the evening hours, looking at some dry conditions. Things a lot cooler temperature-wise heading into this weekend and early next week as we track temperatures below average into the lower 70s. The other noteworthy item is we'll be looking at less humidity in the air. We'll probably see a bit for tomorrow, but I don't think we'll quite be to the levels of that tropical air mass like what we had the last 2 days, and especially noticeable today, but things a lot more comfortable heading towards the weekend.
I bet your farm field's soaking it all up.
Farmers are very happy, especially with the heat and the humidity. Now we got the rain, good growing conditions for sure.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Appreciate your time, everyone. Thank you for being with KTTC News. It's valued and appreciated. Good night.